This WeatherScope is sponsored by Century 21, the world's #1 real estate sales organization.
This is WeatherScope.
Snow continues to fall in portions of the Midwest and Great Lakes region. That is our top story this evening. Welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Bill Keneally for the latest conditions in that part of the country. Let's join Mike Bono now in the Forecast Center. Mike?
Bill, it's been kind of a rough night in Chicagoland on up into much of the upper Midwest with all the snow moving in. It was kind of quiet. In fact, it looked like you might get off easy in Milwaukee and Chicago as wet snow and rain ended this time yesterday, but overnight the real brunt of the storm moved on in, and now it's the shoveling. Chicagoland, O'Hare Airport crippled today by some of that snow. Take a look at this, snowbound at O'Hare, one of the great hubs of the nation, certainly the hub of the Midwest. Very busy airport, one of the busiest, if not the busiest, in the United States. At one point, traffic in and out of O'Hare was down to 20% of normal, and that means big-time delays as we are looking at a major hub of many major airlines in the Chicago area. Blizzard conditions at times. Now, we could see that O'Hare is getting a break, and Chicago is too, because the snow is moving out. But remember, behind the snow remains the wind and the cold still yet to come. But at one point at Meigs Field, right on the lake, we had a 62-mile-an-hour wind gust. O'Hare measured officially 6 inches at the airport with drifts up to 1 and 2 feet. Midway Airport, closer to town, with 10 inches of snow and again drifting as well. And some heavy snow moving on into, right now, South Bend, Indiana. Right in Gary, you can see it now. In Gary, Indiana, it's coming to an end. South Bend still snowing. Places like Kalamazoo to Holland and Muskegon, Michigan, some of that snow is heavy, and we're talking serious stuff. You can see the storm track through Nebraska and Iowa with drifts up to 5 to 10 and even more feet in Iowa, a steady level accumulation over a foot. Then a secondary area that sprung up during the day today with 6 to 10 and even 12 inches around O'Hare. Elgin, Illinois, the last measurement we had was 6 inches. You could see snow cover. Again, the extent of snow. I don't think we've had this much snow on the ground this winter, ranging from Saskatchewan and Manitoba, Canada. This is snow cover through Iowa, Missouri, down to Kansas, and of course the Rocky Mountains. And now, as we lose that cloudiness over much of Illinois, we see the snow cover emerge, and that snow cover is going to add to your decreasing temperatures as we go on through the next couple of days. Some of the coldest, if not the coldest weather of the season so far moving through the Midwest. One of the things you see on our maps is isobars. We have a low pressure center, the lowest pressure around, and then each isobar indicates 4 millibars of pressure higher, which is about 1/1200ths of an inch of mercury. Well, they are really packed together, and the wind is funneling around that low pressure and along those isobars, bringing in colder weather. Now, that's not enough dry air to knock the snow out of Saginaw and Alpena, Michigan, where it's still snowing heavily, down to Muskegon and Flint. In Detroit, you're kind of living a charmed life, but it's not really going to last too much longer as that snow is moving in your direction too. We've had some snow in Toledo with the temperature just about down to freezing. Snow through Dayton, above freezing temperatures, Cincinnati, and even down to Bowling Green, Kentucky. That snow moving eastward. Temperatures not cold enough to accumulate much, but there's some heavy snow in Dayton and around Cincinnati right now, so it's not on the ground yet. It will be very, very shortly, especially with the night falling. Only 1 above 0 in Minot. That's not the wind chill, that's the actual temperature. Chicago dropped 2 degrees last hour, but Cleveland is still 44, Cincinnati 33, so the cold air is really filtering in from the west. And with those winds up to 40 or more miles an hour, it feels like 20, 30 below. Fargo, International Falls, Des Moines, 21 below 0 wind chill. So you got to picture this. The wind is blowing, you have the wind chill effect on your face, but there's blowing snow in the air in this entire area, and snow still falling in upper and lower Michigan, easily 3 to 6 inches more, and some of that snow will move into the Appalachian chain as the lake effect brings it on through. Well, stay with us here on the Weather Channel. Still, the story not wrapped up yet on this lake effect storm, or this Great Lakes storm that will become a lake effect snowstorm in the next day or so. When you're away from your TV, remember on the web it's weather.com for the latest information from the Weather Channel. Now back to the studio with Bill.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. Rain and a lot of thunderstorms covering a large section of the Middle Atlantic and Northeastern region today, and there's a big chunk just off of the Jersey Shore. We'll check that out close up momentarily. So there's still a possibility, at least, of some heavy rain and maybe some severe weather. Earlier today, the rain began falling in Salem, New Hampshire. Commuters had to watch their driving as it hit ponding water. A lot of hydroplaning going on there on I-93 and maybe inbound on the Everett Turnpike as well. Vehicles hitting the water at high speeds send huge sprays of water into the air, and once again that situation pretty dangerous. And there's still, to emphasize, another batch of heavy rain. Maybe not coming into southern New Hampshire right away, but I'd watch Long Island and I'd watch eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island, and southern Massachusetts over the next couple of hours. Well, as Mike mentioned, that big system slowly pulling out of the hair of Chicagoans. Looks like Detroit's going to see some snow tonight, though. And even in the Appalachians, the rain-snow line is already starting to move pretty quickly into the coal fields in southeastern Kentucky. Reports of snow now in the high country in North Carolina as well. So drive carefully across the area. Should see a general 3 to maybe 1 to 3 inch snowfall. The warm air still trying to make some inroads northbound. It's very interesting. At one time today, we had temperatures in the 60s in Boston, Mass, while in nearby Nashua, New Hampshire, not too far up the road, it was barely 40. But again, the warmer air is winning the battle. On top of Mount Washington, it is all rain as well. Flood watch is southern New Hampshire and the Monadnock area, a lot of central Mass, all of Rhode Island, much of Connecticut, and southern areas of New York State. Watch out. All the counties in Rhode Island now under a flash flood warning, as we're anticipating more heavy rain crossing Long Island, especially Suffolk County, and getting into eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island, and southern areas of Massachusetts. So watch out here. It looks like a front is showing up on the map too, here to the west of Baltimore, out around the Reisterstown area. This is pretty much the configuration, I'd say, Baltimore into the Catskills. Still a pretty strong southerly flow coming up. And there's that rain running tangential to the Jersey Shore. Watch out on the island, anywhere from around, I'd say Long Beach all the way out through Robert Moses State Park, Fire Island, all the way to the Hamptons. Some heavy rain coming in, and with that there will be some pretty good displays of lightning as well. Everything's sliding quickly now to the north-northeast. In conjunction with the front, you can see the other lightning track there showing up on the Catskills. To the south we go. Thankfully things have settled down. It's been a very rough night though down in Florida. I'll show you some of the video shot earlier today in and around the Lake Wales area. And once again, this is in central Florida, over by the Kissimmee River east of Lakeland. Quite a bit of damage, as you can see, at least a dozen homes severely damaged. And in addition, we had a report of about 10 injuries down around the town of Okeechobee. That's on the north end of Lake Okeechobee. Well, if that's not bad enough, now cold air coming in. Portions of Texas, Arkansas, and the upstate of South Carolina bracing for a freeze overnight tonight. Western states, we have a weak system coming in. With that, we are getting some rainfall. Watch the rain by midweek in the San Francisco Bay Area. For now, though, just a little rain around Seattle and Portland. Rolling our map.